Okay, I missed you guys yesterday. I did. Yesterday, my schedule was busy. I didn't get to sit down yesterday to record. I had 3 appointments yesterday, one impromptu that lasted 2 hours, which I'm so happy I was able to take that call. And then I was personal Ubering yesterday. Okay, I had to step in because my kid's schedule was a little weird yesterday, so I had to be a personal Uber to help them out yesterday. Okay, so with that being said, all right, we did not get a morning read yesterday. Hey, Taj, baby, how are you, my love? Yes, I told you I'm back. I'm back. My commitment is to post something at least once today, to jump on here live at least once a day. I didn't get to do it yesterday because of scheduling, and I have enough energy to get through this reading. I'm gonna put it that way. But I had to get up at 4 this morning again. Um, you know what? Give me 1 second, Taj, because I can't see my comments. Give me a second. Let me pull it up so I can respond. Give me 1 second. Taj, let me tell you guys, I have so much information for you guys. Yesterday, I actually said, I need to sit and make a list of what I need to share with you guys because this information is needed currently. Because I can't be the only one experiencing all of these synchronicities. I cannot be the only one. Okay. Hey, oh my gosh, Ocean Lover. Oh my gosh, I have missed you. It's been a minute. Welcome back. And I should say welcome back to myself too. Oh, you've been setting boundaries, Taj, and people are mad? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Taj. Yep. They about to be even madder, too, because about what you're about to learn over here. I don't know if you got a chance to look at, and I'm going to do a part 2 to that timeline. Oh my God. Light within darkness, beautiful day. I don't know if y'all got a chance to look at my timeline video. I'm going to show you guys why that's relevant. I didn't have a lot of time. When did I post that? Day before yesterday, Saturday. I did not have a lot of time to show you and break down how you're living on the true timeline and how the timeline that we know that we're living in is distorted. Okay, so 2025 is on a distorted timeline. And the original timeline, which was changed 5,500 and about approximately 10 years ago, that's the vibration that we're actually feeling now, right? But it's distorted because the dates was changed. So that old calendar system linked not just the earthly system, but it also linked the cosmic system. So it was a lunar calendar and a solar calendar, okay? The calendar that we're using right now is just a solar calendar, which means cosmically we're not in tune, which means our bodies are not in tune with the cosmos. Our minds are not in tune with the cosmos. So all of your 7 subtle bodies are out of whack, okay? Which means your 12 chakras are not fully online, right? Because we only taught that we have 7 chakras, but we don't, okay? You got 7 major chakras in the body, right? But there is a system of 12, all right? So you got one beneath your feet, which is your earth chakra, and then you have, I think, 3 above your crown chakra, okay, outside of the body, right outside of the body, all right? So you have a total of 12 chakra systems, and we were not taught that, okay? So I'm going to be sharing with you how we've been talking about DNA activation for years now, how that's looking because it's happening through your nervous system, it's happening through your spine, it's happening through the awakening of your Kundalini energy. Some of you are probably experiencing things in your body, maybe from simple tingles to achy joints, maybe even to finding scratches on you that you know weren't there before. So there's a lot of different things going on. And you are not crazy. Okay, you are not crazy. A lot of these things can be explained in this quasi era, okay? Keeping in mind that we are now in a era which my guys have deemed and telling me that is a quasi era. And in the quasi era, everything is going to be on a quantum level. Quantum physics or anything quantum energy is going to be the order in which rules the vibration of this day. You are no longer in a space where you are vibrating on a thing. You need to become the resonance of that thing. Okay, so we shifted over from vibration to resonance, or let's say from frequency to resonance. All right, and I will be able to show you how that plays out, how one calendar is still operating on a frequency and how the correct calendar is operating on resonance. So it's not just about being able to attune to a thing or tune to a frequency or tune to a manifestation. You now have to become that thing, okay? Or you have to first embody that thing within. We're now operating on resonance, all right? So go ahead and go down the rabbit hole of Googling the difference between frequency and resonance if you need to, okay? Because I'll get into it, but you need to know that we are no longer moving on frequency, okay? You need to be able to not just feel the energy, right? But transmute the energy, embody the energy. That's where we are in this season, okay? All right, so one of my reasons that I'm back is because I am here to help you ground your nervous system, to help you get your grid back online, your crystal body grid back online. Okay, that's one of the reasons why I'm here. And the way that's done is that you need to be able first to understand how to master your emotions as well as master your mind, okay? Because your mind, your emotions, your actions produces a physical manifestation, aka an experience, okay? Now, what you need to do is, today's message is actually quite interesting. It says, big dreams are built by those who do the work. And these things come out in reverse, and I apologize for that. I have to figure that out on the camera. Big dreams are built by those who do the work. And I want to talk about the work for a second, because the work that they're talking about is not external work. Let me just tell you this right now. If you are trying to do anything externally, right, it's going to be short-lived. And I'm also going to tell you this right now. Remember how we talk about what we consider to be karma, or people getting one up on you, or people trying to get over on you? You need to also understand that nobody's getting away with anything. And whether you call it judgment, whether you call it justice, whether you call it karmic retribution, those things are happening at quantum speeds, which means they're happening immediately in real time. Sometimes a couple of days, a couple of weeks, or a couple of months. It's not taking decades for people to be able to get caught up in a lie. Okay, for people to be able to know that they're being gaslit, for people to be able to know that you're not honest, okay? Especially those of us empath who have been doing the work from since 2000, what they're saying to me, 17 up until now, okay? Mid 2017 up until now. And more so in particular when we were shut down for COVID, a lot of you had to really begin to see people for who they were, okay? So a lot of the work that you've been doing these past 7 years or so is now coming into flow, okay? You need to know that we operate in cycles here, okay? This is a cycle. So you want to be mindful that you're operating in two different timelines, and I'm going to show you that. Look at the video, the last video I posted, okay? We're going to go through that by tic-tac-toe numerology, all right? The world cannot help but to go through the spiritual awakening right now, because the original calendars, that's where we are. We're going through a spiritual alignment. On that particular calendar, we have an arrow of spirituality running through the chart, okay? But if you're looking at the 2002 and the hours that are running, 2025 and the hours that are running through the calendar that we're currently observing right now and working with right now, it's an arrow of poor memory, okay, as well as an arrow of frustration, okay? Is it frustration? It is for, sorry, passivity, okay? An arrow of poor memory and a, wait, no. Hold on, y'all. Let me make sure that I did these numbers correctly. Yes, it's an arrow of poor memory and an arrow of passivity, okay? And an arrow of poor memory means that people don't remember who they are. You don't remember how powerful you are. You don't remember that you don't need anybody, right, to be your guru. You don't need anybody to tell you how powerful you are. The only thing that you need to do is to be honest with yourself. Have conversations with what you call your shadow or your ego, okay? I was telling somebody the other day that I be sitting and having conversations with my ego, and one of the conversations that my ego was telling me was that it feels traumatized because I'm always, you know, in the spiritual communities always saying death to the ego, death to the ego. They're like, why y'all got a problem like killing people? I ain't even do nothing. All I'm trying to do is live and protect and shine and, you know, experience some shit. But y'all always talking about kill the ego, kill the ego, kill the ego. I'm traumatized because y'all, you know, so here it is. My ego is literally having a conversation with me about being traumatized because it's always death to the ego. Like, I mean, it was jokingly, but really the point that I'm trying to make is this, right? You can have a conversation with the parts of yourself that we are told that we should ignore, or the parts of ourselves that we're told we should feel guilty about, or the parts of ourselves that we should feel shameful about, or the parts of ourselves when we're insecure, or the parts of ourselves where we're fearful, okay? You need to begin to open up dialogue with those parts of yourselves because they have many gems and many treasures for you. They can teach you more about yourself than anybody can. Okay? And the moment that somebody else's interpretation or expression of you becomes more important than your interpretation or expression of yourself, you have a problem. We are now in a time where you have to learn and you have to be your authentic self. It's not it's no longer raising your vibration. You need to become the fucking vibration. Okay? It's no longer about raising your vibration. You need to become the vibration. We're in a time of resonance, not frequency. Okay? You need to know that everything is also unfolding as it should, is the message coming out this morning also. You are creating that in which you will be proud of. Okay? And the cards are really just backing me up. There is a way if you're willing to change the way you see it. I can't make this shit up. We're living in a time of resonance. You can't, it's no longer about you, you know what, I gotta raise my vibration, you know, and it gotta be peace, love, and light, peace, love, and light, peace, love, and light, you know. No, you know, sometimes within peace, love, and light, there is darkness. And that's the part of you that you cannot escape, okay? That's the part of the world right now that's showing out in violence, in war, in narcissism, in toxicity. Those are all shadow aspects that people, okay, or the world or history or whatever you want to call it, don't want to shine a light on. Okay, so you're no longer in a phase where you can raise your vibration. No, you got to be the fucking vibration. Okay, you got to be the vibration. So when you walk into a room, your energy alone signals, right, that room to now come into alignment. This is a time where you step into resonance where no matter where you go, you are the protection. You don't need to call for fucking protection because you vibrated on protection. You don't need to send out chants and prayers that you need money because your frequency is money. So all you got to do is be. You don't need to wish to be understood or loved because you are love. You are understanding of all. You are all. Then you begin to understand that compassion doesn't mean that people get to step all over you, you know? No, that's not what compassion means. You begin to understand that compassion is actually allowing people to experience things the way they need to experience, not trying to change somebody's path because you think that this is the way they should go. Not trying to change somebody's path because you think this is how they should think or how they should feel about a thing. When you're balanced within yourself, you allow other people the space to experience life as they need to experience it. Which means you recognize archetypes and pattern and you can bow the fuck out gracefully. That's what that means. You recognize energy and patterns because you're resonance. Okay, so, okay, come on. How does that work? What do you mean recognize energy and patterns? All right, let's talk about this, right? Because I already explained to you, like, all of this is unfolded in your relationships, okay? All of this and how you're going to be able to master this shit is in relationships, okay? So, let's do this. And I'm going to go here with intimacy because this is usually where it starts to show itself and usually where you give people more passes than you would another person, okay? You're in a relationship, whether this is an intimate friendship that you've known somebody for a real time or it's a lover, okay? However you want to place energy where it needs to go, all right? Every time you bring something to this person about how you want to succeed or goal or purpose in your life or, you know, anything where you can thrive, the first thing this person does is respond negatively, but then they're going to back it up with, you know what, but I think that's a good idea. Right? They're always going to respond negatively, but then they're going to come in, they're going to try to save the comment with something positive. They're never going to start with, you know what, that's a good idea and I think you can do it. It's always going to be, well, do you think you should do that? Well, do you think you should move there? Do you think that's even going to work? Right? That's an archetype. That's a pattern. Okay? So, when you recognize that's an archetype or a pattern, and you've seen this in your cousin or you've seen this in your ex, okay? And then you walk into another situation where you may say something and then the first thing somebody says to you, well, are you sure that's even going to work? Or people don't do that, right? Instead of you trying to prove your point or to prove that this is how it's going to work, you understand and you recognize it's a pattern. And you give people the space to believe or disbelieve. You don't have to prove yourself. You don't have to explain how it's going to happen. You don't have to explain how it's going to unfold, right? Because you are the resonance, which means they just got to sit back and watch you move. When you're vibrating on resonance, you don't have to try. It just flows. When you're vibrating on resonance, you don't try to hold on to things to stick, right? You allow the grip to release, and whatever is supposed to stay will stay. You don't try to dull the hurt or the pain. You sit in it. You feel. You allow your soul or your core deep within to speak to you. My experience last year that sent me into one of the deepest activations that I had was a broken heart, a betrayal. And I remember sitting on my knees on the floor in my bedroom thinking, this shit hurt so fucking bad, but I am okay. That's why I would just rock myself back and forth. This shit hurt so bad, but I'm okay. It hurts so bad, but I'm okay. I'm already okay. I understand that this is a part of the process. I needed to know this. If I did not have this experience, how could I know that I was still looking outside of myself for love? How could I know that my self-worth was still in question within me? How could I know that I was not resonating on love that I say I am? I am truly the embodiment of love. And when you're truly the embodiment of love, you don't need to seek validation externally outside of yourself. But I was. All right? And the matter in which I was seeking it with, because I saw a wound, I'm an empath, I saw a wound, right? And not knowing that some people just have endless open wound that they don't want to fucking be healed. They don't want to be nursed back to health. They don't want to be encouraged. They don't want to be loved. And as an empath, you need to understand and recognize these things or else you will be fucking drained, okay? And not just drained to the point where you're feeling tired or exhausted. Drained where they're sucking out your life force. This is not a joke anymore. Science is now beginning to see that there's something happening that the spiritualist has been talking about for eons. Science is now catching up. As a matter of fact, in this quasi-era, what you're going to start to see, science and spirituality are going to come together as one, because you cannot have spirituality without science. You cannot have science without spirituality. They're the same coin, opposite sides of the coin. Science is also going to get to a place where they stop measuring externally and they begin to measure the unseen first, or what we would call the spiritual realm. Because right now, everything in measurements that science deals with is the same thing that we're taught to fucking deal with. Look outside of yourself. It has to be physical. Got to be physical. You can only judge a thing by what you can see, what you can touch. It can be physical. That's not fucking true. You're an empath. You can walk into a room and know somebody was talking shit about you. If you're on this channel and you listen to my messages, I know you tapped in, because you could have only found me if you was tapped in. You can walk into a room right now, although you may not feel like you elevated to the point that you want to be, or you still got so much to learn. You can walk into a room right now and know if there was an argument, if somebody was talking about you, because you feel it. Some of you feel it. Some of you can tell by the other person's body language, their facial expression. You can literally read the energy in the ear of what's being said and what has not been said. Embrace your gifts, because that's how you're going to be able to navigate this energy. Between now and 2030, you need to fine-tune your resonance. You've been tapping into frequency and paying attention to vibration and frequency. This is no longer the season where you can tune into a frequency. The frequencies are distorted, so you have to become the frequency. You have to become the resonance. You have to become that in which you seek. There's also no more peace. We've been collecting peace for years. There's wholeness now in resonance, right? So if you're still on that frequency, that vibration, yeah, you're going to have to locate your peace. But if you're vibrating on resonancy, or if you stepped into resonancy, there's only wholeness in resonancy. You understand that to be angry and to be upset is the opposite side of being happy and joyful. It's an ebb and a flow, and at any given point, you get to experience either one of those energetic flows that you choose to. Years ago, I had one of my ex-husband's family member. She explained about a time that she was cheated on, okay? And when you listen to the story, you can feel the pain. Okay. You can feel the hurt in the story. You can even feel like, wow, that was bold of him, right? And then at the end of the story, you realize that the story she was telling happened 30 years ago. 30 years ago. 30 years ago. Now, I want you to hear what I'm saying right now, okay? This is not to diminish the pain. This is not to diminish her experience. This is not what this is. This is to let you know she was still stuck in a loop from 30 years ago. Because as she retold that story, there was no lesson that was told. There was no acceptance that was gained. From a pain and a wound that happened 30 years ago, as she told that story, what she was telling and regurgitating was that same pain. In this vibration that we're in, where you're going to be vibrating on resonance, your pain is going to become the story of your lessons. Your scars are going to be the testament of your strength. Everything that has hurt you now can be perceived as an opportunity that propelled you to the place that you are right now. In the place of resonance, there's no need for judgment, because you understand everything ebbs and flows. And you understand that you couldn't get to here if you didn't go through these. You understand there's also many paths. So really and truly, if you didn't take this one, but you want to take this one, you can take this one too, but you can still wind up in the same spot. This is not time to beat yourself up. This is not time for you to think that you need to get everything right. The only thing you need to get right is be still and know. Become the observer of self. If you have spent a lot of time judging other people or trying to understand why people do and say and behave and move the way they do, take all of that energy and take that reflection, and then you turn that reflection inward. You will not be able to make it through this energy if your prime focus is external. You're not going to be able to get through this energy if your prime focus is external. External visions will make you doubt yourself. External visions will make you think that you don't have it all together. External visions will make you think that you need to have it all together to get someplace. External visions will make you think that you don't have enough love, right? You don't have enough forgiveness, right? You don't have enough education. Let's talk about that. You don't have enough education, or you don't have enough skill set. You're not gifted enough. All of the bullshit. I went back to school to get a certification once when I first started my spiritual journey over 20 years ago, because I was having a conversation with a girlfriend of mine, and I was explaining something to her, not knowing that time that I was, activated in certain areas, and I had an understanding and a gift in certain areas. So my memory, my ancient memory was already coming back online at that time, and I didn't have anybody to explain this stuff to me, The internet was not popping it like it is now. And she said to me, well, I'm going to go with PhD. And I said to her, well, is that his name? The author of the book, is that his name? And she says, oh, no, he just got a PhD. So in that moment, I was looking externally outside of myself, and I felt like in order for me to feel valid, and for people to pay attention to what I'm saying, because I know there's some substance to what I'm saying. So in order for people to pay attention to what I'm saying, I think I need to go get some type of certification. So I went and I got my NLP, my Neuro Linguistic Program certification, right? Because I needed to now be able to stand amongst people, right? And talk my truth and not feel stupid because I didn't have the certifications to validate the truth that I was speaking. It was just an inner knowing. So that external validation that, no, I'm just going to go with PhD, and because of my own internal insecurity about not having a master's degree and dropping out of school, my second year in college. And then, at that point, I didn't even go back to school to become an audio engineer. And that's a whole nother story, because I went and I became an audio engineer, a sound engineer. I went to school to learn how to become a producer. Well, really, the thing I thought I was going for, y'all, was to record my own stuff so I didn't have to pay nobody for studio time. But that's a whole nother story, right? So I did all of these things to externally look outside of myself for validation. So when I stand in front of people now, I can feel like I have this piece of paper that says that I know what I'm talking about. And I'm going to be honest, we're in a season now that you don't need a piece of fucking paper to tell you know what the fuck you're talking about. We're now in an era now where the books that was explaining what we're going through, they have all been fucking destroyed. But guess what? It's in your archaic memory. You are the ancient intelligence. You are the fucking original AI. That's you. That's you. The energy that's coming into the atmosphere right now, into the ethers of the air, the sun flares, all of that is waking up your DNA. You think I'm lying? Go look it up. The scientists are now starting to confirm that. Do you know that every cell within your body has its own system, and it can literally have its own, if you think about it, if you have 12 trillion cells in your body, do you know you have 12 trillion universes in your body? And do you know that you can bring all 12 trillion cells in your body in alignment at one time to create your light body, that voltage, that spark? What they say, like right now, the human being vibrates at 20 volts or something like that. I think we're at 20 volts, or maybe it could be. Don't go research how much volts a human being. I don't remember off the top of my head how much a human being charge can, right? And the charge, although it may be small, if you bring all the trillions of cells in your body online where they're all sending out an electrical pulse, do you know how fucking much electricity you have in your body? Do you know that you can speak to your cells because your body is over 70% water? And you can speak to your cells and heal your cells? Do you know that every organ in every body, every part of your body, every major circuit in your body has the potential to reheal itself? You are not just a package of walking flesh. You're not. You are a radiant, vibrant being that is here to resonate and to shine and to be that lighthouse among the darkness. Your job is not to try to change the darkness, but it's to save space of light for those that may be trying to find the light. Unfortunately, in this realm that we're in, there is a duality that you have to master and bring into a single source of one. And that cannot happen externally. That has to happen internally. And the way that that plays out is through the four elements in this realm. You are always operating and moving through the four elements, okay? Element one, thought, ear. That's your mental capacity. That's your thinking. You are going to hear me repeat this shit over and over again because I need you to understand patterns, allegories, okay? I need you to understand the connection. Ear, your thoughts, your thinking, your mental. So you need to be mindful of what you put into your ear. Your ears, the two holes on the side of your head. Remember back in the days, you knew a song, you know, oh, that's my jam. Oh, that's my jam. And you dancing, right? And the beat drop, and you dancing, the beat drop, and you just singing the song. You singing the song, right? You just the beat dropping and you just singing that song. You singing that song. Oh, shake what your mama gave ya. Oh, shake what your mama gave ya. Oh, fuck them bitches, niggas ain't shit. Fuck them bitches, niggas ain't shit. So you dancing to this because the beat is popping, right? But you don't understand that you're really not just dancing. You're programming. Music is a way to program you. Sound is the fucking universal language of source. Taj is laughing. Right? You dancing to that song, you know, yeah. You know, women is bitches, niggas ain't shit. Women is bitches, niggas ain't shit. And then you want to know why we have a division in the world today? How much and how many years and how loud have that vibrational frequency been going out into the ethers that niggas ain't shit and women is hoes? How many years? How long? How long? And then you want to know why some people can't find a good man, or you want to know why why you can't find a good woman. What are you tapping in your vibration to? Because you're only going to attract that in which you see, or that in which you are, that in which you think, or that in which you feel. You can't get around that. Ain't no getting around that. There's no getting around manifesting that in which you perceive things to be through your thinking and your emotions, which produces an action, which produces an outcome. So let me go back. Ear. Not just the ears on your head, but the ear outside the wind. That is responsible for the energy of your thoughts. Okay? Fire. That is action driven. Okay? Fire has to do with your action movement. Water. Anything water has to do with your emotions, your intuitive nature, your creative aspect of self. Earth. That will be your manifestation, the physical, anything tangible. And these four things, these four elements are always in play, starting with your sound, your breath, your emotions, fueled by your emotions, then your actions, and your actions is producing an outcome. You're always operating in fours. We're gonna be doing some numerology, some astrology, some alchemy. We're doing all of it because you need to learn how to transmute and how this stuff works in your real life. Do you know that you can speak to the ear? Because the ear has water condensation due in it. Do you know every time you speak, you send out a sound vibration? You send out a resonance, a beacon. No, Taj, all men are not shit. And I promise you, once you change your vibration, you start to attract men that has no choice but to vibrate and radiate in the truth that you resonate on. Because there's men out here that views the world the way that we do, where compassion and wholeness and love, and they understand the and have reverence for not just the female energy externally, but also the female energy internally that flows through them. There are men out here like that. See, we just don't get to see that because, you know, like I said, how long has that beacon of message been pulsating throughout the earth? Right? How long? How long have we been taught to look outside of ourselves? How long? If you have not watched my Gateway to Healing Your Nervous System, you need to watch that because that is the paradigm in which you can make this transition out of frequency to resonance. You need to heal your nervous system. Okay? Oh, shit. Hold on. Yeah. Hey, sweetie. Okay, I'm leaving the house now. You're getting off at 12? Yeah, 12. Okay, baby. I'm on my way. Give me 5 minutes. Okay, I love you, baby. Bye-bye. All right, y'all. That was my son. I didn't even know I was on here this long. That was my son. I got to go pick him up from work, okay? All right, y'all. I love y'all so much. But I'm back, and I got a lot to share because we've now stepped into a vibrational energy where you are no longer attuned into a frequency, but you are the fucking vibration. It's time to resonate. I love you guys. I may be back on here later. I can't give you a time, okay? But my goal is to jump on here at least once a day, okay? So I'm going to try and be back on here later. I believe I do have a client today. So, but I love you guys so much and I miss you so much and so much to share. And let me know, leave in the chat. I'm going to check this later. Let me know if any of you are interested in a Zoom meditation because I want to start doing my meditations again and showing you guys how to heal your grid, your crystal grid line, okay, in your body. All right, as well as how that's going to extend to the Earth's grid line and the Earth chakras. Okay, I don't want to do that on YouTube, open to the public. I'm going to have only 10 slots. Okay, I'm going to have only 10 slots. So if you're interested, just let me know you're interested in the meditation, and then I'll have more information for that on you guys. I will see you guys tomorrow. Hey, Summer. Thank you. I'm going to see you guys, if not later, tomorrow, I promise, okay? And tomorrow my schedule is a little bit more laid back, so I could be on for a little longer, okay? I love you guys. Do something kind for yourself because you fucking should. Yes, the fuck you should, okay? Because you should. Go get that manicure. Buy that dress, okay? Yeah, get yourself that expensive coffee today. Shit, you do everything for everybody else. Do something kind for yourself because you should. And then... and only then should you do kind things for somebody else. Not because they deserve it, but because you can. I love you guys much, and I'm going to see y'all tomorrow. Bye, my loves.